it's Natalie.
Hey y'all, it's Madeline.
And I'm Autumn, and this is TWT.
Hey everyone, welcome back to TWT. This is Natalie,
This is Madeline.
This is Autumn.
and today is our farewell podcast. We have a special guest for you all, Miss Leslie. Today's topic will go over all of our favorite TWU memories.
Hey everyone, this is Leslie Pearson. I'm a voice that you haven't heard before, but I wanted to get on this farewell podcast because Autumn Santos will be leaving TWU in less than 2 months, and I'm so proud of her. I'm proud of all of the influencers, but I wanted to be part of this podcast because she is the first of the influencers. Well, I'm sorry, the second of the influencers that's graduating, and I just wanted to be a part of this event to show my support and appreciation for her. So welcome.
Thank you, Miss Leslie. We're so happy to have you here. So let's get into our questions. So this is Autumn speaking. So everyone, what motivated your decision to work as an influencer for TWU admissions?
So, personally, I've always been into social media. Like I've done it personally. In my personal life, I'm sorry. And it's always just been something that I use as a hobby and stuff. So when I came to TWU and I saw this position open, I was a freshman and I actually went to a job fair at the student union and I ran across the admissions team and I was like, hey, you know what? I actually might be interested in this. It was so funny because I was not looking for a job at the moment. And it ended up being great because it turned out to be a job that worked with my school schedule, very flexible, and I got to meet some great people.
How about you, Madeline?
Yeah, so mine's kind of the same. I wasn't really looking for a job, and then I looked on Handshake and I was like, oh, this is cool. Like I like social media and it's pretty much virtual because I was like, what's the best job? Because I don't have a car. So I was like, I can do everything virtually. So that really worked out for me. And yeah, it's just been like such a great experience.
Honestly, same. I was not expecting to be working in grad school at all. And similarly to you, Natalie, I was in the student union, and my friends was like, oh my gosh, Autumn, you're always posting on Instagram. Why don't you apply? And I actually saw Natalie and Madeline, and they had like their YouTube up. They were ready to go. And I'm like, you know what? I'll take a flyer. And then here we are 2 years later. It was the best decision.
I
Yeah, it
still
was
remember meeting you,
awesome.
Autumn.
Yeah.
I still remember being at that table.
It's so funny because we all like did social media, on our own, and then we come and just met each other and came up with some great ideas. But
I know.
with that being said, after forming part of the TWT podcast, what is the most valuable aspect you can walk away with that will help you in your everyday life?
Honestly, for me, I feel as though developing this podcast, and I think it was a collaborative experience, but reaching out to each person, like for instance, learning about different majors that I've never heard before, or learning about the different library resources that we have to offer at TWU. I think there's a plethora of things that TWU has to offer, which I didn't even know. So the TWU podcast has brought that to light, and I think it's helped a lot of incoming students and transfer students as well.
Yeah, I agree with that too. And to me, it was really like being able to connect with people because I feel like it's one thing asking like, "Oh, can we like post you in our story?" But to actually like have someone like sit down and like get to talk to them and things like that, and also like hearing the feedback after, like from not even like the guest, but like maybe someone if we had a guest who was like the same major, like, "Oh, that's cool," like y'all gave us a shout out. So I think it's just really like the way you're able to like connect with like all kinds of different people on campus is just like such like a cool aspect.
I agree.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what both of y'all said. And I feel like for me, honestly, what I've learned and can help me in my everyday life is like being very flexible, like knowing things are not always going to work out the way you want. And it's okay. Like sometimes things work out better without a plan, and this job has really taught me that. Like, it's not always what you want or it's not always what is gonna work out, but at the end we make something out of, not having a plan, or coming up with a better idea, or taking what Autumn or Madeline says, and putting our thoughts together and really being like, oh, okay, well, we made something really big out of our own idea.
I know. It's crazy.
So kind of thinking about the future as well. So has being an influencer changed your career goals in any way?
So for me,
Ooh.
that's a hard one, actually.
She's like,
Yeah.
ooh.
I think going into it, like we all love social media, like we all have our own individual
Yeah.
accounts, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, you name it. But like for me, I've noticed I loved making the day in the life of like an occupational therapy student. And I think it's touched a lot of individuals that are interested in that career path because a lot of people don't know what OT is. So I think I can bring to light what that is through whether it's a YouTube video or a reel, which we're actually posting tomorrow. And so I hope that when I graduate very soon, like Miss Leslie was saying, less than 2 months now, is that I can take that and still keep posting on like my personal accounts and hopefully inspiring, whether it be mentees or other people interested in a career or just my life in general. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like honestly, when I started school, I was a science major. I still am. I'm still in STEM. But having this job really shifted my mentality, and I'm like, well, you know what? Social media is growing every single day. Like, it's became a part of everyone's life, and I feel like it is an option I can keep open. You know, you don't always end up doing or sticking to the career you're majoring in, and that's okay. And I feel like developing the connections I did through this job allows me to have a second option, or in case I do change my mind and want to do social media full time, I feel like I can because I've, developed my strategies within platforms.
Absolutely. I love that, Natalie. It goes to show that like social media is truly taking over and
Oh yeah,
people's
definitely.
main careers, they're like skip that and now they're going to, I mean, full-time
Yeah.
social media,
Yeah,
an
I've met
influencer.
so many
So
people through like social media that are literally like, oh, I dropped out of college and now I'm doing like TikTok full time, or
we're
and
not
it's like
promoting
it's
dropping out of college, by the way.
Yeah, guys, please don't
no
drop out
at
of
all.
TWU.
It's honestly whatever works for you, and it's just a great second option. And also a hobby. Like, a lot of people use it to get their mind off of things and stuff, and I feel like it's great.
Yeah, I mean, like there is a ton of opportunities with social media. Like I literally did like a social work internship and it was just like doing social media for like a foster care and adoption
Oh
agency.
yeah, I remember that. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
so there's just like options for that nowadays. And I think like having like us being able to do this it can like open like several other doors as well.
I know,
Right.
which is crazy. Okay, segueing into the next question, everyone. So if you could offer advice to prospective TW students considering becoming pioneers, what would you say?
Ooh, that's a great question.
It is, isn't it? It's a hard one.
Well, it's hard to just sum up everything great about TWU and like one little spiel. But I feel like it always says like it just is so welcoming here. You know, I feel like even like when you just walk on campus, like it's just such a welcoming feeling that like I haven't really found anywhere else, like any other college campus. So I feel like, you know, we're campus with a heart, but like it's real I mean, we really are like it's such a pretty campus and like the professors genuinely care about you, like they really want to see you succeed and things like that. So I think there's just like goes to show like how nice it is to have a campus as a whole just like care about you.
Especially when, yeah, you're looking for a campus and you're far from home. I think
Yeah.
that's a main thing. Yeah, it's a home away from
Hmm.
home for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
What about you, Natalie?
Yeah, I feel like the fear a lot of people or students really have when coming to college is like leaving home, leaving their comfort zone, their friends, their family. And what I would truly say to a pioneer is like, we have such a friendly environment. Like, I have not met a single person through TWU that's rude to me or does
Hmm.
not welcome me with open arms, and I feel like that's very important just because, mental health is a real thing. And when you're in a friendly environment, like everything just goes smoother. Like if you feel down, you have people to reach out to. We have the resources. TW offers a lot, and that's just my main aspect to it. Like being friendly and being a campus with a heart, like Madeline said.
Yeah. And honestly too, you made a good point. Like we have so many different things and it is such a friendly campus. So going out of your comfort zone and doing all those things because college goes by really fast. And
Oh
so
yeah.
try to do as many things as you possibly can. Obviously, keeping your grades in line, but again, there's so many fun things that I think TWU has to offer, especially for those who just transferred and just trying to make new friends or freshmen that are, new to dorms. Keep that door open, make some new friends that way. So I think our campus does truly have so much to offer and it really is campus with a heart for sure.
Yeah, good point there. So with that being said, I know we've made many, many, many great memories. We've been knowing each other for a couple of years now. But what is your overall favorite memory after being part of the TW Admissions social media team?
Ooh, I want to go.
I
Because
I have so many.
I know, but one that specifically stands out is when us it was actually four of us with Emily and we went to the TW block party right before school started
Oh
and
Oh
yeah.
we met
yeah,
the
that was so
chancellor.
fun.
Yeah, I felt like we all felt like we were
Oh, I
celebrities.
felt so famous that day.
Yeah, and she posted us actually on her social media platform, and we were like so, freaking out. We're like, "Oh my gosh, we were posted." And everyone was like looking at us at the TW block party, and the weather was beautiful. There was so much food to be eaten and just so many fun activities during that day.
That
If you
was great.
haven't gone already, everyone, if you're listening, please go. It starts always right before school begins, and it is a blast. So that's one of my favorite memories with you guys.
What about you, Madeline?
I was trying to think of another one, but because that was gonna be my memory too. But generally, that was
We
my
can have the
favorite.
same. It was seriously
Okay,
amazing,
Yeah,
yeah,
honestly.
I
that was
truly enjoyed that.
yeah. Like that was my favorite memory too. I think also that was like the first time we saw each other since like summer, and I was like,
It
guys,
It
had
and
been
like
a
was.
school
while.
hadn't started yet, so we weren't stressed, and it was just like a good time.
It was really awesome. You're right. We haven't seen each other for a while. Yeah, and honestly, I really enjoyed Pioneer Preview Day with you guys too. That would have to be my second, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say as well. Like, I feel like Pioneer Preview Day with you guys was just different, and it stood out to me because in such little time we got so much done, and we were able to, showcase so many different programs and put out so much information, and it was just great. I love Pioneer Preview Day. It's just an event I look forward to.
I know. And for everyone
Yeah.
listening, Pioneer Preview Day happens once every semester. So look out for that. It's really great.
So speaking of the chancellor liking our content, so what was it like in general when people say that they kind of like loved our stuff or like would come up and maybe like recognize us? Like what was that like for y'all?
Ooh, so for me, it makes me feel so proud, not only of myself, but my team, which is all of us. Um, because we put so much work and dedication into this, and like it truly does take time. It's a process, we develop every day, we brainstorm, and putting that all together and it being like brought out by other people and noticed is the word. It just makes me feel so proud of us, and I'm like, oh well, that's motivation for me to keep going, keep growing, like you know keep giving it
Absolutely.
my all, and I'm just like, it's awesome. I love it.
It really is. And I'll never forget when I first started, and it feels so long ago now, but it was just Madeline and Natalie. And I remember at Pioneer Preview Day, there was like all of these people coming up to both of you two, and they're like, I've seen your videos, and they wanted to take pictures with you guys. And it was just like, wow, this is what I'm walking into. This is seriously amazing. And so since everyone knows I'm in OT school, so I've made a couple videos about that. And from that, I've gotten some following, and people have now been following my journey of school, and now they're interested in OT. And so
Right.
making those videos, they're really impactful. Like, you don't realize how many people that you're truly, impacting and inspiring. So I think that's for me, and like kind of what Natalie was saying, like that keeps us going, honestly. And there's so much work
Yeah.
behind the scenes that people don't
Yeah.
realize.
Not only that, but I feel like we bring light to so many programs that like sometimes people don't even have an idea that we have, or like OT,
Yeah,
like you said. Now you have people asking you questions about it or interested in the program, and it's like, oh, I didn't even know we offered
right.
that, um,
Absolutely.
which is great, having the ability to help people out.
Exactly. All right. So now, everyone, that graduation is approaching for all of
Ooh, that
this
sounds
year.
real.
Oh
Crazy.
my,
What do you
oh my
have
God.
planned afterwards? I always know that's a huge question. Everyone's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And it's okay if you don't know. That's life. Life's a journey. But do you, Madeline or Natalie, have an idea of what you want to do post graduation? Do you have a graduation date set?
I don't think we do. Like a date?
I believe for December or like fall graduations, dates have not been out yet. They just
Okay.
released the May dates, but I do know it's like as soon as finals are over, like literally
Oh my
days after.
gosh.
So it feels real. We're walking out of 2024 with a degree.
All of
I
us.
know, Autumn, this is your
That's
second
crazy.
degree. I'm so proud of you.
This
Um,
is.
but yeah, Madeline, I feel like me and Madeline are like on the same track because I mean
Yeah.
we've kind of been like freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors,
No, yeah.
in the same track. So it's getting real, and I feel like I've been looking forward to this moment, and it's finally here. But
I
with
am
that
so
being
proud of you
said,
too, seriously.
thank you. With that being said, so like I said in previous podcasts, I am going into the medical field. But it's a process to all of that. I have to take my MCAT and apply to medical schools and stuff. So TWU offers this accelerated master's program in chemistry. So I am starting to work on my master's fall 2024.
That's
And
exciting.
I know. So I will finish that May 2025. And then from there, I will head on to medical school and hopefully become an OB-GYN.
Wow. Natalie, I am so proud of you. I can't wait to follow your journey.
Thank
Wow.
you. Yeah, I'm
That,
so excited. I'm a
We
bit
love
nervous,
women in
but
STEM.
wow, we really
I'm
do.
a bit
That
nervous,
is
but we will see how it goes.
so the
How
master's
about
program
you,
is
Madeline?
accelerated. It's a year long then?
Yeah, so it's only a year and then you can double dip in classes like some of the classes that you're already taking for your bachelor's will count towards your master's degree.
That's awesome. I didn't even know TW offered that. Again, something that came up that I didn't even know. That is
Yeah.
really, really neat. Wow. What about you, Madeline?
So I plan on going to grad school in the fall as well, like Natalie. Wish me good luck,
Woo!
guys.
Oh my, I'm so excited.
My master's is social work. Hopefully it all works out. Yeah, I'll graduate in December and I'll probably take like summer off, summer and spring, or no, spring and then summer, then start in the fall with grad school.
Fall of
So yeah,
2025. Okay.
yeah.
Wow. So that's the
So
route you ended, okay, that you're gonna go with. Because I know that you were kind of on the fence. You weren't sure and stuff. So,
yeah, I wasn't sure about grad school, but like literally all my professors were like, you gotta go to grad school. So I'm like, okay. But then
but
I
enjoy
actually
your
just
time off.
got yeah, but I actually just got this practicum today, and they're gonna help pay for my grad school. So I'm like,
Ooh, that's even better. I'm so
so I'm like,
proud
you
of
know what?
you.
Maybe I should go to grad school. Maybe, maybe that'll give me money for
Wow.
it.
This is so great. And again, you offering great things, giving out
No,
scholarships,
yeah,
paying
for
for
sure.
school. That is, I am impressed. Look at you, Natalie and Madeline.
How about
Yay.
Let's
you,
go, girls.
Autumn? This is exciting.
Yeah, yeah. So you guys are graduating in December. I will be graduating in May. Our date came
Yep.
out like a month ago. So May 10th at
Wow.
4:30 p.m. Central Time.
You will be Dr. Science.
Yes, I
Yeah.
am really excited. Yes, I'm getting my doctorate in occupational therapy. So After graduation, I plan to actually take a week off and just enjoy, just being done and being with family and having maybe a grad party or whatnot. And then I'm going to study for my boards because you have to like be board certified to practice. And then you have to apply for your license. So that also takes like an additional maybe month or 2 months. But after that, God willing, I plan to move to San Diego, California. So
Wow.
Yay.
yeah, I really want to practice out that way. So hopefully in the fall, I'll be moved and just ready to go working. So fingers crossed, everything goes well.
I truly look up to you in that
Oh,
aspect.
No,
Honestly,
yeah, for real.
you are so open and free to like packing your bags and being open to trying a new lifestyle, like moving to a new city or even a new place is just
it's
crazy.
scary.
Like it's
Yeah.
scary, and the fact that you are open to it and willing to try it and like, just that is,
I know. And
Yeah.
honestly,
I'm
Natalie,
so
nothing is
shocked.
tying me down at this current moment, So I think
Yeah.
it's why not now? You know what I mean? So
And
I
you're
want to
young,
regret
these
it.
are your years.
Exactly. I'm
So
in my 20s, so I don't want to regret not doing the
Yeah.
and say I don't like it for a year. At least I did it for a year. I think
yeah, you get to experience it.
exactly. But TWU was awesome enough. Like my last clinical rotation was out in San Diego, and that's why I was able to just experience it and I fell in love with it. I think I told you ladies that, but
Yeah,
letting everyone
Yeah.
know, clinicals you can kind of go wherever you want to go and it was really really neat. So, I'll let you
that's
guys
awesome.
know how it all goes.
With that being said, going more into our personal lives, do you feel like the people that were part of the team with you helped shape the person you are today?
Yeah.
Definitely. Absolutely. Like you two have been fantastic. And honestly, Emily, I know she graduated last year,
Oh
but
yeah,
Yeah.
I miss
it's,
her.
having that camaraderie amongst all of us really just we're all going through school and we're all in pretty like decently hard majors. Emily was a finance major. So it was really difficult, but we were able to like manage our, social media influencing. We had another boss at the time that was really great too. And then wonderful Miss Leslie came around and really helped with guiding us, introducing us to our other mentors. And, when we had questions, she was always there to help. And I think having this type of team makes me want to have this in my real career. You know what I mean? Because this is
Yeah.
not a toxic career that we're at, that where the people are. And honestly, I hope most jobs can be like that down the road.
I agree with that. And I just also want to shout out Autumn because I feel like you specifically like such a hardworking person. Like even like I wouldn't want to do my homework. I'm like, dang, Autumn's actually like doing this job and then doing her whole OT school. Like I was like, I was like I gotta get my stuff together. Like she's clearly doing all of this. I don't know. I feel like you genuinely like installed like a work ethic in me. Like watching
Oh
you
my
be
gosh.
like, I'm
Well,
so
that
serious.
is
Like I'd be in the
Seriously
library
though.
and I'm like, I'd be goofing off, and I'm like, you know what? Autumn's probably like genuine. Like she's like living in like California and she's still getting all her stuff done. Like I gotta like get my
Madeline,
stuff
you're doing
done.
great. Natalie, you're doing great. We're all doing
Thank
great.
you. Thank you.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah, just special
honestly
shout out to
feel
Autumn.
like that's where I'm going as well. I feel like I've picked up a lot of things from you guys, and it's just very healthy traits. Y'all are both very dedicated, hardworking, and ambitious, and I feel like those are things that, you know, we practice on our everyday lives, but sometimes we tend to forget. And I'm like, okay, well, we're a team, and I could really use this in my everyday life. And um, yeah, I've picked up on a lot of great habits from y'all, and the
Aw,
hardworking part is where it's at.
I agree.
So sadly, this is our last question. But what was
This is
it
a
like
big
being a
moment. I'm sorry.
I'm crying. As
no?
I laugh afterwards. That's how I cope with things.
No, literally, I'm like, this is so sad, and then I like
This is
giggle
so
afterwards.
This is my
emotional.
final, well, yeah, this is all of our final podcast. This is insane. Wow.
We've came a long way, guys. I am beyond proud of y'all, and I'm never gonna
Yeah. And we can
thank
look back at this in a couple years. It's on YouTube and Spotify. So
Guys,
not
rewatch,
going anywhere.
binge watch it. They'll be here for eternity.
Literally.
So Natalie, our last question, but what was it like being able to connect with potential and current students?
Ooh.
That's a tough one. We leave
Uh,
the hardest
I
question
feel I was like, I feel like every single one I asked you, I'm like, that's a tough one. And I'm like, I
but
wrote
it's a
really
good
good ones.
one. It's no,
No,
it's
but
really
I'm like,
good.
I was like, I wrote.
I feel
Honestly,
like go ahead, Autumn.
Natalie, you go first. I'll end.
Okay, I feel like relating back to what I said to a previous question asked, you know, being able to help them and seeing that satisfaction in, highlighting programs or resources we have to offer, it makes you feel good about what you're doing. It makes you feel good about your job, and helping others. And I just feel like that's what really wraps it up for me. Um, and then you develop friendships as well. It's not just, oh, well, I helped you out. Have a good day. It's like, oh, okay, well, give me your Instagram or send me an email or connect with me on LinkedIn and I could help you out or message me if you have a question. And that's where um, it brings in all the satisfaction and it's great.
No, I totally agree with Natalie as well. I think seeing it firsthand, especially at Pioneer Preview Day, since we usually attend
Definitely.
all of them, you see how excited these potential students are, whether they're transferring in or they're a freshman or they want to be a nursing student. And just seeing all that, and you can see when they light up, because like we'll pan the camera to them and you could just see how many people are there in the audience. And then they kind of come up to us. They're like, oh, like, what are you guys doing? Like, if they're transferring in, we're like, oh, we're the influencers here. And then they ask further questions. Oh, like, how is it managing having a job? How is it, with the school load and all of those questions? And again, when we post podcasts about different types of majors and things that we've personally gone through, because I've been on the other receiving end of one of the podcasts, you can really reflect on that and then touch others. And again, like we were saying, these are here, Spotify and YouTube for eternity. So you can always reference them. So again, even when we graduate, we're still touching other people's lives and impacting those that are interested in whether it's a nursing major, informatics or OT or social work or wanting to become an OBGYN. Oh my gosh, Natalie is going to do that. Let me tune into this podcast. So just
Yeah.
that type of information, it just keeps, we're paying it forward, I would say. And
Yeah.
it's
Not
really
only, affecting this generation, but I mean, like we said, social media has an impact and
it
this is going to
does.
be around and what class of 2030 is going to be able to have access to this and have access
Yeah,
to resources. And who knows, by that time, many more could be developed and it's just great.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But my dad always says, leave things better than how you found it. And I believe we
Oh,
really did that.
yeah.
And when it's
I
time to
stand by
pass the
that.
baton, I think we'll
Mhm.
we'll be good. Well, yeah, we did what we needed to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it also brings me back to like when I was applying to college and stuff like that, like little 17-year-old Madeline who's like trying to like look up like where to go to college. And then like we like are able to like leave like some kind of like guideline or not guideline of just like something to help like kids like figure out what they want to do. Like I wish I had that, but it's like it's so nice to know that we were able to like do that for other kids.
Yeah, I love that you said that because I think you guys, if you're listening, if you're new, I'm from the Chicagoland area. So coming to Texas was a brand new thing for me. When I looked up the school and like the program that I was going in, there wasn't a lot of resource on it. So that way, when I became an influencer, I really wanted to make my staple of like, hey, when people look up, for instance, occupational therapy, they now have videos to reference on which I would have had. I wish I would have had, but I didn't. So at least like now that I'm leaving, at least they have something to reference to when I'm no longer there. So yeah.
No, this
Miss
is making me sad.
Leslie, do you have
Yes.
anything to add?
I've enjoyed everything that you all have been saying, which is so true, and it just tends so well into what you all do, what y'all have done, the growth. Just even though we met 2 years ago when I took over the team, just to see the growth of where you all were when I took over, which was at a pretty good place to begin with, and just to be with you all on this journey. But then also, as you all mentioned, just the information, the content that you're putting out. It's personal. It's personal and it's personable, but then it also opens up the possibility to, to people who are listening that may not know, TWU, or even just different majors and different careers that they can have, and I know that y'all have a really good following. I know that y'all are very informational and people really do look up to you all, and then also just really follow what you all are saying. I remember, was it last year, maybe in 2022, when a current student at TWU wanted to interview Madeline because seeing you on Instagram was her reason for coming to TWU. Um, but also with that, just how the atmosphere at the university, just like influences us all. I can speak as what's called an old school student per se, and I'm doing air quotes. And not, and I'm going to be transparent. I came to TWU in the mid-90s.
Oh, wow.
After spending
Wow.
several years in the Army, came as a transfer student in the 90s, and I purposely looked for a smaller university and a woman focused university coming from a male dominated environment at that time. And, I had a choice out of a couple of universities looking at, and I ended up at TWU. And I don't regret that decision at all, because the quality of education that I received, the opportunities that opened up, and even the lifelong friendships that were made, while I was there. And then the new relationships that I made, whether they're, friendships, or working relationships, alumni, um, it just really it is an integral part of my life. And like most alumni, like most people that have attended, it's like, I am TWU because, TWU is in me. And you all bring that to the forefront with your post and with this podcast. And I just really do appreciate that.
Oh, thank you, Miss Leslie, for those
I
kind
know,
words.
like,
It really means a lot.
That was great.
Well,
Yeah.
I can't say enough about Miss Leslie. I feel like she's been great. She's been a great role model, a great shoulder, a right hand, and I feel like I don't think we could have done it without her, in all honesty. But
no, for sure. Like we
thank
could not
you,
have.
thank
No.
you for scheduling all our meetings, for coordinating us, for everything you do for us is just great and is very helpful to our job and the team overall.
Well, y'all
Yes,
make it
seriously,
easy.
thank you, Miss Leslie. We can't thank you enough. Like you stepping in and you just kind of saying, taking charge, which is hard, stepping into a new atmosphere can be kind of overwhelming and flustering all at the same time. But I think you navigated everything perfectly. You rearranged our meetings. You always made sure like we were comfortable. And when we had
Right.
questions, you were always there, whether it was a text or a group me, like you always wanted to make sure like we were always in the loop. So I appreciate that. And thanks for being such a great boss. Like I think you set the tone of how bosses should be.
A
And
great
again, I
example.
really hope that my
Yeah.
future career can have bosses like that. You need a happy medium, and
Yeah.
someone who has structure, but you're not afraid to ask questions and be vulnerable. And I think you provided that space for us. So thank you.
Now y'all are getting ready to make me cry.
Um,
I know. Well,
Y'all
no,
made me
I just want
easy.
to say I
Y'all are
still
good
have
too.
like those certificates you gave us. That one I
Oh,
forgot what was
those
like
were
last semester. I still
awesome.
have mine.
I have
Like
mine
making
Mine
those
are
too.
certificates
framed.
randomly, and I was just like so sweet. Like I didn't even think I was gonna get like a certificate. I was like,
And Miss
I still
Leslie
have mine.
always loves doing Christmas presents too.
Oh
She
my
Oh
God.
yeah,
by my
she will
office
gift
to
us
Yeah.
make
something
sure.
every single Christmas.
It was always so cute, very thoughtful. So thank
Yeah.
you. Like you didn't have to do that, but you're always like, stop by my office. Sometimes you're
Yeah.
like treats offer for the influencers and all of that. So it
Hey,
was
I plan on
seriously
being
really
at your
great.
dissertation too. So
Huh?
I plan on being at your dissertation
Oh,
also.
thank you. May 9th. So I'll send you more details later.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone. It's been real. Thank you so much. Like the past 2 years have been nothing but amazing. Nothing short of amazing, I should say. I was not expecting it to be like this. I really didn't know how I was going to manage this on top of school. But with you, Natalie and Madeline and even Emily, like you know, if I couldn't do something, Natalie or Madeline was like, I can do it. It's okay. I think we just had such a good teamwork, or if someone
Yeah.
couldn't do something,
Yeah.
if I couldn't make it to Pioneer Preview Day, Natalie's like, yeah, I can do that. And Madeline's like, I can send you videos. Like, just having a really awesome team like that just made working so easy, you
I
know?
feel like we created a very easygoing atmosphere that allowed us to feel comfortable
Yeah.
within doing our job and made it very, easygoing and smooth overall. And
Yeah.
that's really what matters, because if you're not happy with what you're doing, you're going to feel miserable. And I did not feel like that at all within, being an influencer for TWU admissions. And yeah, the team overall was great.
I know. It really was. Well, it's been real, everyone.
This is so sad.
All right, everyone. Well, that concludes our farewell episode. This is Natalie,
This is Madeline.
This is Autumn.
and thank you all for listening to yet another last podcast of TWT. Until next
Until
time,
next time, pioneers.
Until next time.
And stop.